But first, without any further ado, let's take the first of several trips out to East Lansing and join our training camp crew.
Rick, thanks. We're in East Lansing, Michigan, taking on a very different tenor from a year ago. A team that had lost 5 games in the previous 3 seasons, dropped 9 in 2016, from 12 wins to 3, a 9-victory regression that was the largest in Big Ten history. Now a program that has won 2 of the last 4 Big Ten titles tries to get back on track. And with that, we welcome you to East Lansing. Dave Revson, Jerry DiNardo, Howard Griffith. This has been a standard-bearing program for this conference. They have been so good, and now they try to get back to that point, guys.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question that you can bounce back from last year's season. And one of the reasons is that the biggest reason, it's not physical. I think a lot of it was mental. Mark D'Antonio has said something about being born on third base, right? Leadership issues, locker room issues, all those things can take a team that we thought a year ago was as talented as Ohio State and Michigan. We all sat up here and said the talent is not that far away. So it had to be something other than talent, and therefore I think those are easier issues to address and correct than if you don't have a lot of players on your team.
Yeah, and I think one of the notions that was out there is that Michigan State is now going after all of these 4- and 5-star guys, and maybe they shouldn't do that. I don't subscribe to that. I think this is an outstanding coaching staff. You know, what happened last year is just that. It's last year. I think they're going to continue to recruit at a high level. They've just got to bring the guys in and develop them. That's a way of getting this program back on track. It doesn't mean that you need to go out and just get 2 stars and 3 stars and develop them. You can get the best players in the country to come to Michigan State and be able to play at a high level.
But I will say this, Howard. I thought today's practice, which I thought was really good, they were just in shells, shoulder pads, not bottoms, was really good. There was a lot of good work done. But the team reminded me of pre-Alabama in the quarterfinals, when they, of course, they had some 4 and 5 stars on the team, but they didn't dominate the team. And today, to me, reminded me of Mark D'Antonio's teams when he was building this program year 1 through 10, personality-wise and even physically.
And look, there was also this notion last year of kind of everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Right. You know, you had an injury at quarterback, you had some uncertainty to begin with there, and then you found a guy in Lewerke and he broke his leg. You had 21 first-time starters. You had a ton of injuries there that I think threw things off. And they were in position to win games, guys. They led every single game. I mean, they led in 12 of 12 games, and yet somehow it would seem to slip away. Often in the fourth quarter, they were really a bad fourth-quarter team. Okay, so knowing all that, knowing that we think there's some talent, let's run through it. Let's start with the offense. They've taken a dramatic drop back offensively here over the last few years, from being one of the top 10 scoring teams in the country to where they were a year ago. What did you think when you ran through this offense today?
Well, to me, it all starts with Lewerke, right? He's going to start at the quarterback. If you want to compete in this league, you have to have a quarterback that can get the ball and get your team down the field. When you watch him throw it, when you watch him throw the ball, when guys are running comebacks, they're running out, the ball is there. It's on time. Before they look, the ball is on the way. So I think that's a huge part of it. You look to the run game. That's going to be a big part to take the pressure off the quarterback. The offensive line has to continue to develop. I don't think they're where they want to be at this point, but those are good starting points for this offense to really start to move forward.
I agree, and I think that personnel really complements their scheme. If you're going to line up in traditional formations like Michigan State does, although they have integrated the spread in recent years, and they'll probably do the same thing again this year. So if you're going to line up in traditional formations, you got to be solid at the offensive line. They're absolutely solid in the offensive line, but you have to have a quarterback that can throw, and Brian Lewerke can do that, and you have to be deep at tailback, and you have to be explosive at wide receiver, and that's how you would describe this team. And when you plug that description into a pro formation, I think you're onto something.
And they were running it fine last year. I mean, they averaged 209 yards rushing in their last 6 games. You know, unfortunately, with all the uncertainty and the injuries at quarterback and everything we talked about, the passing game kind of fell off. But to me, the thing that was most glaring last year, even though 104th in the nation in scoring, I mean, this wasn't a great offense, but defensively, they've really taken a step back. The 11 sacks, I just can't get that out of my head. I mean, you think about all the pressure that they put on offenses when they were really rocking and rolling defensively, and this became a very easy team to throw the ball against in particular. What do you see defensively?
Well, they're young, right, and they've got some talent they have to develop, but what jumped out at me, Howard, is the staff's different. They're coaching and teaching different. Mark Snyder is now the defensive end coach. Ron Burton has gone to the inside. A young coach, Jesse Johnson, I believe his name is, helping Harlan Barnett now. So there's times when Harlan just has the corners and Jesse has just the safeties. And Harlan's got all this responsibility of coordinator, so that really helps him. So I thought the individual drills on defense were different because of the way the staff is organized, and I think that could make a significant difference.
Demetrius Cooper has to step up and play big for him. Talk about not being able to get to the quarterback last year. He's got to be a focal point of a guy that's got to be able to get there and make things happen at the quarterback spot to really slow things down. I really like what they do inside the defensive tackles. These guys are talented. They're strong. They can move the pocket. They'll command double teams. So that's going to open up some things on the edge. They still aren't where they want to be able to rush the passer. So I think you're going to see some things being creative, whether that's bringing a linebacker, whether that's bringing a safety to try to help them out in the secondary, which I do like. I do like some guys back there because they're long, they can run. They just haven't played as much as, they would like.
Even when they rushed 4, I thought today it looked like they had some potential at defensive end, and that'll eventually come. It might not be right away, but they've got some guys that'll learn how to rush off the edge.
I'll say this, guys. I know a lot of people want to dismiss them and say, well, this was kind of a flash in the pan, and it's heading downhill. There are a lot of fan bases who are saying that. I would say you dismiss this group at your own peril. I mean, the three of us watched. There is a lot of talent on this field. There is no doubt. They got a ton of guys who can run, as you say, on defense. There's a lot of offensive talent here. This was not a team that was devoid of talent a year ago. It was just a team that, for whatever reason, couldn't put it together. But I don't know. Again, dismiss them at your own peril, I think would be my takeaway to watching today.